All right, guys, so I'm here with another workout video. So I know you guys probably watched the last video, hopefully, and there was a little medley because what I do is I do 2 days a week of like core and dynamic medley, and then I do 3 days of leg days. Remember what my goal is? My goal is to put on some size. So what I'm doing on my legs, lower body, so what I do is I separate. And on Tuesdays, I do a quad focus workout with a little bit of hamstrings. On Fridays, I do a glute and hamstring focus workout with a little bit of quads. And then on Sundays, I do a lot of accessory work. So like kickbacks, cables, a lot of like glute little stuff. So I started out warming up. I did 4 sets of hamstring curls. And then I moved over to Romanian deadlift. So the difference between a Romanian deadlift, you'll see here. With a stiff-legged deadlift, the focus is all on the hamstrings. There's no booty squeeze at the top. Your hands will actually kind of fall forward more and your knees will not bend. So there'll be a lot more space between your wrist and your knees. With a Romanian deadlift, I'm pushing my butt back, like actively pushing it back, getting a big stretch, and then I stand up and I squeeze my glutes. So I did 4 rounds of this also. I actually did 5 because I wanted to like warm up. So don't forget, I mean, I don't say that I have, that I'm still recovering from a herniated disc, but I like to warm up an extra set, which is, there's nothing wrong with like 1 or 2 warm-up sets, and then you have like 3 or 4 of your quote-unquote working sets. So I worked my way up my rack, trying to get as heavy as I possibly can. So I'm just going to have you kind of watch me go through this. I think those were 70-pound dumbbells. And on the last set, so this is what you'll see. On the last set, it was a quick superset where I go do the 70s for, I think it was 10 reps or 12 reps. And then I run over to my prone hamstring curl and do lightweight and burn out another 20. So in the beginning, when I was doing the hamstring curls, I was doing sets of 12 and I was going up in weight each time. You could also see my little Blackstone Labs shaker bottle, which I'm a sponsored athlete. Don't forget, look in the description box, for the code. So you guys can get a discount, and I really truly believe that I should be the poster child for BioFreeze. So I put BioFreeze on my lower back and knees before literally every single workout. And of course I use my Squeeze Me Skinny Waist trainer, which that is another one of my sponsors. So go check that out in the description box. I got my X bands. You could see the little booty band because I did a little warm up with that. That's hanging right there on that reverse hyperextension. I'm also a sponsored athlete for them. In this particular video, I am wearing my Mini Beast shorts. I am now a sponsored athlete for her, Miss Carrie June. So check out the description box for all the discount codes and all the links to the website. So we move on now to lunges. So I personally like doing lunges better with a barbell as opposed to a dumbbell, but I did do a few sets. So I'm not gonna have you watch the whole entire thing. So well, maybe I am. I think I forgot that I put the whole thing in here. So I think I wanted to show you that I did 15 on each leg without stopping, and I believe those are 25s maybe, or 30s. And what I did with this was I went up in weight on every single set, and I did 12 to 15. So this was my first set. And then I decided that I wanted to move over to a barbell, so we will get to that in a second. Just chill and watch. See? Non-stop. So you can now see that I'm just adjusting my waist trainer. That's the Army Fatigue one. And I got my barbell. So that particular barbell is a safety bar. It's a lot better on my shoulder because I do have some shoulder and neck issues. It's a 50-pound bar, and I have 25 pounds on each side. So, therefore, that's 100 pounds. I don't know why I kept this in the video, but I'm about to start lunging any second now. So, there you go. Oh, and then one thing I do want to add is, if you'll notice, I'm going a little bit wider with my stance, so like kind of like a 45-degree angle. I'm not turning my body either. So the big thing here is when you do a step out, and this is part of the reason why I had the camera facing me, it's just wider. So instead of you're definitely never supposed to do lunges like tightrope unless you're doing curtsy lunges, then you will step back and kind of cross. But usually you just step forward. I'm kind of stepping out to the side, but the most important thing here is that I'm not turning. So if I was turning to go on that diagonal, then there would be no point to me stepping out because I'm just going forward. So hopefully this makes sense. My feet are wider and I'm opening up a little wider, so I'm in like a wide squat position. So now I'm going over to plies, okay? And I'm standing on a box because I have super long arms and I'm holding a dumbbell and I want to get a bigger range of motion. So if I wasn't on the two boxes, I would not be able to get a full range of motion. I wouldn't break parallel, and that's what I want to do. So with this one, we changed the tempos. So I did one warm-up set. I believe I did 20 of these. And then each set after that, I did it a little bit different. So I think I'm going to only show you. So now so actually, you know, the switch and screen, I started out with a weight and then I decided, wait, maybe that's not. Nope, that's not. Okay, so now I'm going up. So now we're starting a different tempo. So you'll notice I'm going to do a 4 count negative or eccentric movement, and then I just stand up. And in the next set, I'm going to do a 4-second concentric, which I'll show you that in a minute. And then in the last set, I'm going to do a 4-second count on both of them, eccentric and concentric. And then the last set that I'm going to end with is heavy weight, as heavy as I can go after blasting out my legs and my glutes and everything. With the wider stance, you work more adductors and more glutes. So then I'm gonna go super heavy, which I've done a lot heavier than 80 pounds, and I don't say that to like brag, I just say that to keep it real. But after doing all these different tempos, what you've done before, like, you know, if I've done sumo squats for 10 reps with 124 pounds or 136 pounds, you know, it's different after you do all these crazy warm-ups. So you'll see at the end. So now this is the next set where I'm doing the 4-second. No, I'm still on the negative. So I'm just showing you that I'm not stopping. So I think the next one is about to come up here. Yep, so this is the 4-second concentric, and now I kept this in the video because I want to show you guys that if you do something and you kind of feel like, you know what, I picked too light of a weight, go change it. Like, if you feel like you could do more, go ahead. I also have this rule that if I picked a weight and it's too heavy, that unless I feel like I can do it safely, I have to force myself to do it. So now, as you can see, I'm squatting down with my full range of motion, and then I'm doing a 4 count up. So I tell you, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004. So you have to make sure that you count slow. That's the true count, not 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So I'm gonna do this one, and I'm showing you that I'm doing all of my reps. As you can see, it's getting a little hard there for me, so I had to take like a 2-second break, or like an A-second break. All right, so now here we go with the 4 seconds down, and then 4 seconds up. And I wanted you to see, I went too light, and then I said, because I actually went down in weight, thinking, of course, it's gonna be a lot harder if I'm changing up the tempo for both ways. And then I said, you know what, I can still do it. So notice how my knees are tracking with my toes. So you wanna make sure anytime you do a plie or a sumo that you push the knees out. Don't let the toes face in another direction and then the knees. That's how you get knee injuries. So see how my knees are pointing in the same direction that what my toes are. So I'm now about to do my rep count for this 4-second down, 4-second up. And I'm just gonna throw this little tip out. You gotta get your mind right for things like this. You gotta really, you tell yourself, I can do this, I will do this, I will get through this. You gotta talk yourself, bring yourself to your happy place, because you can do anything that you set your mind to. So now, I'm on my last set. This is the last thing. I'm just showing you I got my waist trainer on, keeping it nice and tight, keeping me with good posture. Core activated, and now that's an 80-pound kettlebell, which I think the next time I do the workout, which happens to be today, I'm gonna go with a 90. And the focus on the last one is it's no more tempos. Now it's just about moving through the movement with good form, nice and smooth, and not stopping until you hit 15 to 20, but I'm, of course, going to do the 20. So just nice and tempo.
Anyway, I can't do anything, attitude I stick to get with this candle. Lit in this wick of this candle's been lit by this candle. Eminem sick, this kid sick in this mantle. From the trench of Atlanta, Tennessee and Alabama. For me to be another channel, for you to surf and scramble. Took so many lives, I bust so much.
And here's a little tip for you. I highly recommend anytime you have high volume training to mentally get through it, and this is what I do. Every time I have 20, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. Counting in sets of 5 helps you get through it. Just don't lose track as to where you are. So, I hope you guys like this workout. I'm gonna be doing more workouts, then motivational video, then workouts. So leave a comment, like,